This is the weekly sales meeting for January 11th, 2026. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, it's more than coffee. Starbucks did not become a global giant by selling better coffee. Plenty of places serve a decent cup of coffee for less money. What Starbucks sells is experience. They turned a bitter black drink into a warm daily ritual people crave. They did not just pour coffee into a cup, they poured comfort, identity, and a piece of luxury into your hand. And they did it on purpose. Nothing about Starbucks happened by accident. That green apron, that smell, that music, that barista who learns your name and your drink, all of it was built brick by brick to make you feel known, to make you feel you belong, to make you come back tomorrow and the day after. And they charged more than the diner on the corner, and people lined up to pay it. What does that teach us? It teaches us that people do not buy the product. They buy the feeling the product gives them. They buy the moment. They buy the identity. They buy the story they tell themselves when they hold the cup with their name on it. Coffee is the excuse. Connection is the product. Sellers forget this lesson every day. We pitch the product, we pitch features, we forget to build an experience the buyer wants to step into. We forget that details sell, atmosphere sells, feeling sells. Think about it, a black coffee at a gas station costs $1. A black coffee at Starbucks costs $5. Same bean, same water. What changed? The environment, the expectation. The permission to sit in a leather chair and answer emails while jazz plays and the smell of pastries floats by. That extra $4 is the rent for the feeling. Starbucks never competed on cost. They competed on mood. They competed on small human moments. They made the smallest details matter more than the beans. They trained baristas to make eye contact, to say your name, to remember your last order. Those tiny moves made them billions. Howard Schultz once said Starbucks was never about coffee. It was about building a third place. Home, work, and Starbucks. A safe pocket of calm in a busy life. The coffee came along for the ride. Now ask yourself, what are you really selling? Are you selling an ad schedule? Are you selling the chance for a local owner to dominate lunch traffic? Are you selling spots and rates? Or are you selling the feeling of being the talk of the town when customers flood in because of your campaign? If you do not know, you are probably stuck in the commodity trap. Just another seller quoting rates and shoving spots into a plan. Buyers hate that. That is the gas station coffee pitch. It is cheap, convenient, and forgettable. Good luck charging a premium for that. To break out of it, sell the Starbucks way. Design an experience. Make the buyer feel special. Make them want to buy it from you, not just buy something. Start with the environment. Starbucks sells an environment. So should you. Your environment is not a store. It is your attitude, your words, your questions, and your tone. When you walk into a meeting, you either bring warmth and expertise or you bring cold facts and awkward tension. The seller who sets the environment controls the mood. The buyer relaxes because they sense you have them covered. You have thought ahead. You understand what they care about. You did not show up to dump information and run. You showed up to guide. That is the first step to being seen as a premium. It is in the details. Starbucks sweats every detail. They pick music that matches the vibe of the hour. They lay out furniture to invite you to stay. They never burn the beans because consistency builds trust. What are your details? Is your presentation sloppy or tailored? Are your emails clear or cluttered? Do you follow up fast or let deals die in silence? Do you remember what they said in the last meeting or do you make them repeat themselves? Small details tell the buyer how much you care, and care is the shortcut to trust. Now let's talk about personalization. Starbucks does not hand you a cup that says customer. They hand you a cup that says Chris or Megan or Luis. That one name makes it yours. Do you tailor your plan so obviously that the buyer says this is mine, not a cookie cutter plan they show everyone? Most sellers do not. We tend to pitch the same deck 10 times a week. Then we wonder why buyers ghost us. No one wants to feel generic. Everyone wants to feel seen. So use names. Use their words. Show you listened. Reflect back on what you heard. It costs you nothing but attention. And that attention makes you unforgettable. Next, train yourself to think bigger than the product. The product is not the hero. The buyer is. Starbucks does not say our beans are the smoothest. They say take a moment for yourself. You deserve it. They put the customer in the center of the story. They invite you to step in. You must do the same. Stop pitching what the spot costs. Start painting what the commercial message does for them. Show them the future version of their business if they trust you. People do not buy what is, they buy what could be. Words matter here. Lazy words sound like, this is our best package. Better words sound like, this is the plan that can bring you 30 more paying customers each week. That covers the investment in the first month and sets you up to grow all year. One version talks about you, the other talks about them. Which do you think sells at a premium? Starbucks knows people do not just pay for taste, they pay for status. Carrying that green cup says, I can afford this little luxury. I belong to this tribe. People crave belonging. How do you incorporate that into your sales strategy? Show your client what happens when they invest properly. Show them how their competitors look cheap when they cut corners. Make them see that being visible in the best spots makes them the authority in town. Customers love the local king. It is your job to plant that vision. Proof helps. Starbucks does not brag with slides. They prove it every time you walk in. The smell is the same. The coffee tastes the same. The barista smiles the same. Consistency proves worth. In sales, your consistency proves trustworthiness. Be the seller who does what they say. Be early. Be prepared. Send what you promise. Follow up without fail. Most sellers are inconsistent. We ghost. We forget. We drop details. That is the opposite of Starbucks. Consistency lets you charge more, earns you first call status. It destroys buyer doubt. Use stories. Starbucks built a story around each cup. It is the story of warmth, safety, and pause. The price makes sense because the story makes sense. You need stories too. Facts tell, stories sell. Facts list ratings, reach, and frequency. Stories say, one of my clients had empty tables on Monday. We ran this campaign. Now they have a wait list for lunch. They asked me to pause it once. Sales dipped. We turned it right back on. They are booked again. This is similar to the plan I'm recommending for you. Real, simple, believable stories remove fear. They prove you are not just presenting theory. If you have worked with me, you know I keep a stuffed pink elephant in my office for uncomfortable conversations. It is time to bring it out so we can address the pink elephant in the room. Premium pricing scares most sellers. It should not. Premium pricing works when your experience feels premium. Starbucks does not apologize for charging more. They earn it. So should you. If your plan delivers results, if your follow-up is flawless, if your care is obvious, you deserve to charge more than the lazy rep quoting the lowest CPM. Do not race to the bottom. Nobody brags about the cheapest coffee. They brag about the best. Starbucks did not win by being cheap. They won by being loved. Cheap wins short-term. Love wins forever. Your buyer will find cheaper advertising. They will not find another you if you do it right. Be the warm, predictable, trusted guide they can count on. They will pay you for that comfort. Now, let's get tactical. How do you bring Starbucks principles into your next presentation? First, research before you show up. Know their pain point. Know the numbers. Know what matters this quarter and next. Second, tailor your opening. Do not wing it. Start with what they care about, not what you care about. Third, ask deep questions. Make them talk about their dream results. Fourth, build a plan that feels like a natural bridge from their pain to their dream. Fifth, tell a story of someone like them who crossed that bridge with you. Sixth, use the language that removes fear. Don't say cost, say investment. Don't say spots, say customer traffic improvement plan. Don't say maybe, say here's what happens next. Seventh, confirm next steps while you still have the energy in the room. Do not say, I'll follow up. Say, let's pick a start date now so you get ahead of the next cycle. This is how premium sellers move. They are calm, clear, and specific. No guessing, no fear. Starbucks also teaches you patience. They build loyalty over decades, one cup at a time. You build your brand the same way. One thoughtful meeting at a time. One flawless follow-up at a time. One moment of care when nobody expects it. Your brand is not your logo. Your brand is what they say about you when you leave the room. Be known as the one who over-delivers. Be known as the one who cares enough to remember the little things. Buyers crave that. The seller who provides it wins big. Here is your test. Look at your last 10 presentations. How many sounded generic? How many times did you say, I have a package for you, instead of, here is how we will solve that Tuesday lunch problem you told me about? Be honest. The gap between those two is the gap between commodity seller and a Starbucks seller. Close the gap starting now. Review your talk track. Cut the fluff. Sharpen your stories. Strengthen your questions. Personalize your follow-ups. Practice it until it is second nature. Starbucks baristas do not guess your order. They learn it by heart. You must do the same with your clients. Howard Schultz said, we are not in the coffee business serving people, we are in the people business serving coffee. Steal that mindset. You are not in the media business serving ads, you are in the people business growing companies. The ad is the tool, the trust is the glue, results are the proof. Never forget this. Starbucks turned a boring product into a cultural ritual because it designed every touch point to feel special. Do the same. Design every interaction, every email, every call, and every meeting. Make each feel a notch warmer, a notch clearer, a notch more caring than the last seller they met. They will never want to buy from anyone else again. One last push. Do not read this and nod. Apply it today. Pick your next client. Audit your approach. Ask yourself, am I selling beans or am I selling an experience? If it is beans, stop. Rebuild it. If it is an experience, sharpen it some more. Make it so good that they brag about you to their peers. Make it so tailored that they cannot wait to say yes. Because people do not buy ads. They buy results. They buy trust. And they buy a piece of your promise that tomorrow will be better than today. Be their Starbucks. Be their daily habit they value too much to replace. And they will pay you a premium to be part of it long term. My new book, Double Your Revenue, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy, or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.